Hello, friends! Alrighty. So, this weekend was Colossal Con. Well, not weekend. Technically weekend. From like Wednesday to yesterday was Colossal Con. Although we're not sure if we should count Wednesday or yesterday because they were both like half days. Anyway, I'm going to not go massively, hugely in depth in this one because we actually did daily vlogs over on Man Munch Extras. So if you want more in-depths on each individual day, y'all can head over there. This is more of an overview, kind of a wrappy-up thingy thing of my experience, both with the costume making and the individual panels and such. So, thing one, costume making. We tend to usually do one or two costumes that are self-serving, followed by some that are more mainstream. And by that I mean one of our set of costumes was our D&D characters, which is obviously entirely self-serving. One of them was our troll sonas, which is self-serving but also identifiable if you know anything about Homestuck. And that's kind of usually how that ends up going. We try to make sure we have one or two self-serving and one or two that are more mainstream, and then one that's somewhere in the middle. So our mainstream ones were Val and Vox from Has-Been Hotel, and what was our other mainstream set? I don't remember. I don't know why, but it always seems like there is one costume that I just cannot remember for the life of me ever. CJ and Flick, that's it. I think I didn't remember CJ and Flick because that costume was so easy to make and I had no problems with it, except for with the net for Flick, so my brain was just like, eh. And then our more niche costume that we did was Seth and Jay. That was amazingly fun, actually, for reasons that we will get into later. Obviously, most of our costumes were easy to make with the exception of Val and Vox. We did very specifically do human Vox, mostly because I didn't really feel like trying to make another TV head. And I say another because I do technically have one already because I did an Omega Flowey. So, yeah. I didn't really feel like doing that again because I already know how big of a pain in the ass it was the first time. So the hardest costume to make was Val, by a long shot. Val was a pain in the ass. And the problem was mostly the fact that I was very insistent on trying to make openable wings and also having the other arms. Now, the arms were actually quite easy to do. The main problem that I had with the arms was trying to get the hands to attach into them. I might end up redoing those at some point. And by that I mean I might just take out I might like cut a slit in the back and take out the old arm and replace them with some newer ones. I don't know. My problem with doing the arms was that the craft store only had foam that was either too thick or too thin to do them the way that I knew how to do them, which was really the problem. The other problem was the hands that I bought were supposed to be a left and a right because they were the fingernail painting hands, and the problem is that it came with two rights. The good news with that is that because they had gloves on them anyways, I was able to just kind of pull the glove, or pull the sleeve out. Not pull the sleeve out. I was able to just pull the glove over it and make the right hand look like a left hand anyways. I just can't get as much posing with the fingers as I would like to for the left hand. So that's slightly unfortunate. The other problem was that the hand broke off on the way there. So that's a thing that I have to argue with in the future anyways. But for the most part, the extra arms went incredibly well. I just didn't get as much posability in them as I wanted because the foam was too thick, which means that it didn't matter how thin I cut the elbow, it still just would not bend correctly. So that was the main problem that I had with it. But other than that, that went weirdly well. It was mostly the cape. Now, the cape was mostly a problem because I had to try to cram it all in at the end of the month because of everything else going on, which meant that I did not get the chance to test to make sure that the rigging that I had made to both hold them up and to have them wrapped, just laying on my back worked, which means that I was kind of stuck. So the good news is that I do know how to fix it to make them work. The bad news is that I need to actually get the time to do that. And the other bad news is they obviously didn't work for this convention. I did get to use them ish for the photo shoot. The good news is that I did very specifically make the blazer in a way in which I could use it without having the robe on if I didn't want to have the robe on. Because I wrapped the fur around the entirety of the blazer and I put some designs on the back of the blazer so that if I didn't want to have the robe, I could still just wear it with just the blazer. Because I did have enough forethought to go that far ahead. Just because I kind of just generally tend to assume that something's going to go wrong. It's usually best to assume that something is going to go wrong and to have a backup plan. That's also... So that actually didn't go horribly. Also, videos for a lot of these things will be coming out throughout time whenever I get around to editing them. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea when they're going to be coming out, but I did film the process for... Well, I didn't film all of the process, but I did film a chunk of the process for the wings, and I did take photos throughout the process. I didn't film the arms because the arms I literally just followed the tutorial. Let me go ahead and look up the tutorial real quick so that I can give you the correct information. Ironically, I used a cosplay tutorial for Angel Dust to make my Valentino costume because I thought that would be funny. So the video that I used on how to make the arms was Ms. Twisted's 4 Arms, 1 Nightmare of a Cosplay to Make Angel Dust. Most of you probably know who Ms. Twisted is. She's fairly well known, at least for her cute little owl costumes and whatnot. So, if you don't know who she is, that is literally just the tutorial I followed. Why is my camera being dumb? Hold on. Yeah. There we go. I think I fixed it. Anywho. So, that was the tutorial I used for the arms. To be complete, I literally used the suggestion she made instead of the tutorial that she made for the hands because I cannot be bothered to go through that much effort to make hands that I can buy. I'm gonna be honest. That seemed redundant to me a little bit. Anyway, Valentino was the biggest pain in the butt. Strangely, the second biggest pain in the butt was making the horns for the Trollsonas. Now, the reason I think that the making of the horns for the Trollsonas was so difficult was because finding a way to attach horns to your head tends to be annoying when you have slightly larger horns, and I have not made horns that were large in a while that didn't also sit in a way that it didn't matter as much. So my Makara horns that I made, they're like a foot-ish tall, but because they get so narrow at the top, it barely matters. Because they're only really thick at the bottom, and because they're thick at the bottom, they sit on a headband nicely. But the part of the problem also is that it's becoming strangely more difficult, at least around here, to find thick headbands. Basically, everyone sells those stupid little tiny thin things, and those don't work for horns. But my horns were not nearly as big of a problem because mine are at the side, right? They go this way. They come out and they curve down. The biggest problem was the horns that I designed for my boyfriend's Trollsona, because his go up, but not only do they go up, they get thicker as they go up. I only grabbed the one, but as you can see, it is quite large. We tried putting this is actually a complete wire that we just painted gold to try to make it look like it was kind of supposed to be there. But the problem is it is too heavy to actually stay up. So if anyone has solutions to weight of horns, please let me know. But I used the way that I knew how to make them, which was aluminum foil on the inside, wrapped in wire for stability. And I don't mean thin wire, I mean I'm using this thick wire that it bends-ish, but it's not horribly thin. So I wrapped it in that. I wrapped the aluminum foil in that to give it stability. Put 2 strands that just went all the way up to the top through it. And then I just covered it in foam clay. That was way louder than I wanted it to be. Apologies, headphone users. But I then wrapped it in foam clay. And after wrapping it in the foam clay, it then just became way too heavy. And I didn't use a huge thick amount of foam clay. You can actually still see some of the wires barely underneath of that if you look at those. I very specifically mostly used the foam clay in a thin layer about yay big to wrap around it so that it would be smoothed out and not be aluminum foil covered. But it was still just way too heavy. And the problem is his have to sit here-ish. Here-ish. Here-ish? Yeah. Because his are supposed to be just above his eyebrows coming out of the front of his head instead of off to the side. We just couldn't get those to work. So we ended up just going to the craft store last minute and buying thick styrofoam sheets and just making his 2-dimensional sitting there. And we ended up making me a backup pair like that as well, because my clay pair was trying desperately to escape from the headband because the headband was so small. Because again, it's getting weirdly hard to find thick headbands anymore. So the horns for the Trollsonas were just really weirdly hard to get actually working. And those ones I didn't bother filming because we didn't end up using his and I'm almost certainly going to have to redo mine at some point. But I did specifically use foam clay because foam clay is lighter than like most other clays, and it still just did not work. So if anyone has any like better ways to make more complex horns, let me know in the comments, because that would be swell. I would like to be able to upgrade from my ridiculously heavy pair that I have to take off basically every time I enter a panel because they sit weird, and the problem is because of how I had to attach them to the headband, they dig into my head a little bit, and that's just not comfy. And I would love the ability to upgrade those. So, Seth and Jay were mostly closet cosplays. We basically already had everything for those. The only things that we needed to do was, so I had already had my boyfriend, do a Masky cosplay to go with my Tiki Toby for Anna Marathon for Anna Marathon this year. So conveniently, Jay's jacket resembles Masky's basically completely. Instead of just using the brown hoodie, instead of having to buy a brown hoodie, he just used the jacket that he already got from Masky. But in addition to that, the set of masks that we got came with a set of 3. And it was cheap to get all 3 of them. So we only needed the 1 for Masky. And we just used the other 2 for Seth and Jay because they both needed it. So that was convenient. Anyways, that's enough about the costumes because there's not really a huge amount to talk about for those. Like I said, I have videos for a good chunk of it, especially Val. I have a lot of Val footage. You're going to be getting so much Val costume footage whenever my ass gets around to doing that. But in terms of the actual convention, day 1 was basic. I'm just not even going to bother going through the days. Highlights were D&D, interactive D&D with Toothless. Because everyone wants to play D&D with a dog that is trained to play D&D with you. So that made it pretty high up on the list of things that I thoroughly enjoyed. Cards Against Humanity. I am not going to say who was there, but it was hosted by Samurai Dan. Samurai Dan does a bunch of cons throughout the States. Samurai Dan has quickly become one of my favorite panels to go to. Because, hey, go figure, I like sharp, pointy things, she says as she gestures to her sharp, pointy thing that is within frame of the camera. Can I get the other one in frame? I can. Nope, it died. There it is. Mine are European because Japanese swords are expensive. No. Mine are European because I got them for free. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love sharp, pointy things. I require more sharp, pointy things. I keep forgetting to ask where Samurai Dan gets his sharp, pointy things made sharp and or pointy, because mine are dull as fuck. Mine are dull as fuck and also have nicks in the blades. Mine desperately need restored. And I keep forgetting to ask him where he gets his fixed because I would like to know of a place where I can go to get mine done. That maybe is not horrendously expensive, but quite frankly, it's almost certainly going to be horrendously expensive. But that is why mine stay in their cases. Because their blades look like bad. Being honest. Maybe at some point I will bother showing them off along with my other daggers that I have, but I don't know. Anyways, so we did Yeah, we did 3 Samurai Dan panels. One of them was a repeat but extended and quite frankly better version of the one that we went to in Animarathon. That one was the history of shiny, sharp, pointy things. And then we did the Cards Against Humanity panel because we had to do the Cards Against Humanity panel. We won one of the rounds. That was very fun. Because what did we bring for show and tell? I'm not gonna say it because I will get in trouble with YouTube. Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of things that I don't mind doing the cursing thing on YouTube, but we're going to try to not do the whole sexual innuendo thingies. And let's be honest, if we're talking about Cards Against Humanity, that's gonna be what it mostly is. Anyway, yeah. If we do ever end up doing anything Cards Against Humanity related, I will have to find a better not YouTube place to put it. I'm going to be honest, it might end up just being random little vloggy things on my OnlyFans. I don't use OnlyFans the way that OnlyFans is used usually by people. I use my OnlyFans very specifically for art. Like what OnlyFans was made initially for. But if we do any, like, not safe for work games, like Cards Against Humanity, or What Do You Meme, I'm gonna probably end up putting them over there. Which means I'm going to have to work desperately on getting my audio quality better. Well, the audio quality less so. Probably the video quality, if we're being honest. That might be the thing that might need to be worked on. I am unsure. We're going to cross that bridge when we get there. I am thinking far too many steps ahead of myself. But anyway. The next favorite thing was probably, let's see, what, Hasman Hotel photo shoot was amazing. There were so many of us. There were so many of us, we literally had to move like 2 or 3 times. But not only that, the hilarious thing was the actual person who was running the panel or running the photo shoot never showed up. So a different person, a different group of like 2 or 3 people just kind of took charge. And we're like, all right, we're all here, let's do this. But the best part is there was like 1 or 2 people that brought a drone. Because there were so many of us, we needed drone shots for group photos. So that's fun. I still need to find the Discord and the specific things on Facebook for all of the photo shoots. I'm probably, obviously not going to post all of them, but any of like the group shots and stuff that I am personally in will end up posted on my various social medias, because that's what social medias are for. Yeah, if you want to find all of my social medias, I might also end up making a fun little, literally just a slideshow of the various photos of me throughout randomly. That might be fun. So yeah, that'll be a thing. The last really cool thing that I feel like I want to talk about is the Slenderman panel. And at first you're going to say, why would a Slenderman panel be a thing that we should care about? Well, because the guy who is Alex, and I think is technically the guy behind Marble Hornets itself, actually showed up to the panel. I unfortunately didn't get to actually meet or talk to him or anything, because we did very specifically go to the Slenderman panel dressed as Seth and Jay. And I kind of desperately wish I could have had him like sign the inside of my mask, because that would have just been amazing. But unfortunately, he like only came in, made a little bit of an announcement, and like spoke for a short time, and then left. I'm hoping that we'll get to see more of him at other events, because he is... No, he's not based in Ohio, I don't think, but I'm not sure. But, yeah. If you are keeping track of shorts, and I'm going to be respectful and not post the short until closer to when it's going to be done, because he did ask that we not reveal information. What I am just going to say is keep an eye on the Marble Hornets channel, because something big is coming. And I am super delighted that I got to not really meet him, but at least vaguely be a part of an interaction. That made a really... And the problem is that in the moment I was upset because I didn't get a chance to actually interact with him, because like I said, I would have loved to have him sign the inside of the mask. That would have been amazing. And I'm very sad that I didn't get to actually do that. But in the moment, I was too busy being sad that didn't get to happen, because this is literally the day right. This was Saturday. Con Crash is starting to get set in, because this is also the one of the last panels of the night. The Cards Against Humanity panel was the very last panel of the night, but a lot of people put the 18 plus panels in the after 8 o'clock area. And so my brain was too busy being sad that I didn't get to actually interact and have any even a small amount of interaction, or have him sign the thing. But in hindsight, that was still just massively cool to have a creator that I look up to and see actually appear suddenly during a panel that is for them completely unplanned, and they just appear. So that is the fun. That was a very big highlight. Anywho, I think that is all of the big things that I wanted to talk about. And like I said, if you want a going through day by day thing, check out Mammunch Extras. We're probably going to throw this video into the playlist too once we get... Honestly, because all three of the channels that we have are kind of vaguely connected, we're probably just going to throw this into the playlist along with any of the... we might also add any of the cosplay makings into it as well. That way just all of the Colossal Con stuff is in a playlist. I haven't figured that out yet. Honestly, at minimum, this video will almost certainly just be put in the playlist at some point, but no idea if I'm going to bother putting the cosplay videos, the cosplay making videos in it or not. Or if I'm just going to put them in as a separate series, or as a separate thing of just, here, watch me make cosplays. Which I kind of already did with the Tiki Toby hatchet, but, Anyway, moving on. That is all that I have to say really particularly. If you want more specifics, check out the playlist, because we go more in depth over there, as that one is done literally at the end of every single day. Oh, excuse me. Why am I so gassy? I don't understand. Anyway, brain dead, head empty. I think that is all of the things. That's a pretty good size video. But anywho, if you want to see all of the photos that I took of other people and of myself, go check out my social medias. They will be in the description. If you want me to put more of a hurry-scurry into my step on getting the cosplay making videos done, I'm going to need you to actually show interest in seeing that. So put that in the comments. Because I literally have a list of things that I need to edit. Because I am very slow. Very slow at editing. Mostly because I have this problem in which I, like, vaguely enjoy editing, and then the other part of me is like, but I could be making more things instead. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't help. So if you, especially the cosplay videos are very specifically going to be annoying to do, because that's just how this plans out. So if you want to see the cosplay videos on a sooner rather than later basis, I'm going to need for y'all to, like, actually show some interest in the comments. And if not, and you only care about finding the cosplay photos, go to the Colossal Con Facebook group. Go to my social medias. It will be everywhere. I swear. I promise to ye. It will be everywhere. Everywhere that pods are cast. No, that's not correct. This isn't a podcast. Everywhere that photos exist. And by that I mean I am on so many websites, it's not even funny. Go, find me. Links in the description or whatever. I will put links in the description. Find me across all of the holy social medias and several of the unholy ones. I'm certain you will find at least one social media that I have that you also have that you can find me on. And then you can just pester me about posting con photos. And it'll get done. I can't promise that every social media will have every con photo. I can promise that at minimum, the social medias that will have every single con photo that I took and several that I did not but include me in them will be my Facebook page, my DeviantArt page, Imgur, however you pronounce that. I would say 500 pics, but the problem with 500 pics is that 500 pics takes ages because it only lets you upload 6 photos at a time. So while they will all eventually end up there, probably, I cannot tell you that it will be anytime soon. Whereas DeviantArt and Facebook will be for sure done by the end of the month. We'll have all of them. I can also tell you that for sure the Colossal Con Facebook group will have it. Once I manage to find the Discord group will have it. Go, find them, do the thing. I don't personally have a Discord server thing because there's not enough people that care. If you think I should make a Discord server thing, let me know. I can do the thing. I am already on every social media. I may as well add another. But anywho, that is all of this. The next thing that you will see, either today or tomorrow, depending on how I want to do this, will be the haul video. Because everyone loves haul videos. Yay. This is going to be an overall haul video of all of the things that both I got and my boyfriend got. Why? Because I can. And because if you watch the vloggy things, you'll know who got what. I'll give you a hint. It was mostly me. It was mostly me. I have very little self-control. And I like stickers. Anywho, look forward to that. Toodaloo.